Greetings and welcome to the Pick a Card, Any Card for the week of July 14th, Sunday, July 14th through Saturday, July 20th, 2019. This week we are looking at what we most need to know, do, or be aware of in order to walk in our highest power and our highest good. There's a lot happening in the stars this week, in the cosmos this week. And so we want to make sure that we are staying in our highest power this week. And so that is what this week's Pick a Card is all about. So if you want to be in the running for winning the prize, the giveaway that I'm doing at the end of July, make sure that you comment your card selections in the comment section below, and then your name will automatically be put in the hat for the prize for the end of July. You are to select card group 1, card group 2, or card group 3. All right, so the results are in for this week's Pick a Card, Any Card for the week of July 14th through July 20th. You were to select card group 1, card group 2, or card group number 3. And for those of you who commented your card selections below, whether you did so on Instagram or my Facebook page or on YouTube, if you do so by July 15th, Monday, July 15th, by the end of the day, then you are automatically enrolled or added into, your name is automatically put in the hat to win the prize, the giveaway that will be taking place at the end of July. So I want to thank everyone who has already commented their card selections on my different social media platforms. Make sure that you check the comments, not the comment section, the description box below for details on some additional work that I do. If you're interested in booking a reading, the link for that is down below. If you're interested in purchasing my book, The Magic of Self-Love, that is also below. And if you want to just skip ahead, like if you picked card group 2 or 3 and you want to skip ahead, make sure that you check the timestamp below to let you know what time you can actually fast forward in this video so that you can get your go ahead and skip ahead to your reading. All right, so those of you who selected card group number 1, your reading is up next. All right, so those of you who selected card group number 1, let's see what cards you have received. And this stone that is here is called a black tourmaline. I actually absolutely love this stone. It's one of my favorites. And it is most famous for being able to transmute negative or unbeneficial energies into positive. And so if you're going through a lot of challenges, or just you want to make sure that you're staying on your, staying on your highest vibration and you want to eliminate negative energy or unbeneficial energy, this stone, black tourmaline, is good for that. I know a lot of times people, when they see things that are black, they're afraid, and it's like a lot of times these black stones are some of the most powerful and most helpful to us. So anywho, just wanted to share that. So for card group 1, you received the 5 of Pentacles and the Tower. Wow. And I did not even look at these cards. I don't look at them before I flip them over. So it's very interesting that I even put this stone on top of these cards, because you're going to need this type of energy, the black tourmaline. And before I go into detail about this, the card that is on the bottom is your general energy, is the stabilizing energy, is what is happening right now, or what you need to be aware of right now. And then what is laying on top of it or crossing it is what will either help you in that area or give you further insight in that area, or could either be hurting or helping this first card. So, and I will go into detail about what this means for these particular cards here. So the 5 of Pentacles is actually a card of depletion. It is a card of, when I see this card, most of the time people, when they see the 5 of Pentacles, they immediately think of financial depletion, financial loss. Because the pentacles generally represent either finances or material resources. And so there's often this feeling of material loss, losing money, or going into a period of time of financial depletion or lack or not enough. This could also indicate a spiritual feeling, a spiritual lack, a spiritual depletion. And so this week, July 14th through July 20th, this really could indicate either you are already going through some sort of depletion in your life, some sort of material depletion, not making enough money, not feeling like you're making enough money, feeling lack, feeling, or even just physically depleted, physically feeling depletion in your body, feeling depletion, even in your spirit, feeling, like there's not enough, or feeling drained, or feeling without. And this could be something that has already been in play for you. And again, if this resonates with you, definitely, all of my readings are, when they're general like this, you have to take what resonates with you and then discard what doesn't. For more details, I would highly encourage that you book a personal reading. But the Five of Pentacles, this could indicate something that you're already coming into this week with a sense of poverty, a sense of lack, whether it's just a mental state or an actual physical, you don't have enough, or you're looking at your obligations and your bills and you're just feeling, depleted is the word of this, kind of a keyword for this card here. It's a feeling of depletion, because the people on this card, if you look at them, not only do they look as though they are struggling, that they are physically, don't have their needs met. This almost looks like a church behind them, like they're going in to receive aid. They're going in to receive, charity, to receive help. So this week you are highly encouraged to look at the ways in which you are allowing yourself to be depleted, or where you have just experienced some form of depletion, whether that be job loss, money loss, bad investments, and get the help that you need to pull yourself out of that. A lot of times when people are feeling this way, there is this sense that there is no way out of it, that there's no, like this is just the way it is and I can't come up, I can't, do better, I'm trying so hard, and I can't get out of this. Again, this could be material depletion or spiritual depletion. And so there's this sense of, like what the Tower indicates, total destruction, total annihilation of everything that you've ever stood firm on, everything that made you feel safe and secure and stable is now crumbling. Now the Tower, a lot of times people get even more scared, and I'm really not trying to terrify you with this reading, because every reading that I do is always to empower, to uplift. If you remember when I opened this this particular week's reading, I said, what do you most need to know, do, or be aware of in order to walk in your highest power? And so when you see the Tower card, you see people, they're falling out of their tower. They're falling out of the place that they built up so high, that they felt so secure in, and now all of that is falling apart. And so you may feel like that there are certain things in your life that are just falling apart, that are not as secure as you had hoped, that are not as stable as you had hoped, and you're feeling that like everything is out of your control, that everything is that everything that was once stable and solid and secure in your life is no longer that. And then because of this week, we're going into a lunar eclipse. Wow. We're going into a lunar eclipse in the sign of Capricorn. And Capricorn is the sign of stability, is the sign of financial, long-term financial security and establishing oneself for the long term. And so when I look at us having a lunar eclipse in the sign of Capricorn, a sign that is so stable, so about responsibility and doing what's right for the long term, but an eclipse is always when there's a reset in the cosmos. So basically what a lunar eclipse in the sign of Capricorn is saying, that there's a reset in what we all have deemed as something as secure. There's a reset in what we consider responsible. There's a reset in what we consider longevity and long-term success. Everything that we maybe have built up to this point to say that this is what long-term success means, this is what stability means, this is what being responsible means. Now there's a reset, there's a cancellation and a reset to that. So this week we are all being challenged to rethink the establishments that we have built our lives upon. If you selected card group 1, you are really encouraged this week to look at what are your beliefs about money? What are your beliefs about security? What are your beliefs about being safe and secure, and all of the things that you may do in order to make sure that you have the money you need for the long term, that you have a good stable house to live in, that you have a good stable job that provides a consistent income on a regular, consistent and dependable basis. What have you established and built your beliefs upon when it comes to those areas of your life? Because you may be challenged in that this week, or you may have already experienced those challenges that are really rocking you to your core on your beliefs about everything that maybe you have built your life upon. Okay? And so when you're in this moment, it feels like despair. It feels like chaos. It feels like you don't even know what you believe anymore. You don't know what you trust anymore, because everything that seems so believable and sound and safe and secure is now being uprooted. We are in the middle of a Mercury retrograde. We are about to have this lunar eclipse in Capricorn. And one of the things that Capricorn energy actually hates is change. Is change. But you can't grow without change. You can't build without having moments of destruction. You can't build without destroying, And so I would really highly encourage you to, this week, my wisdom to you this week, is to really look at what pillars of belief are in your life, especially as it relates to money, especially as it relates to what you believe makes you a responsible person. Because sometimes we get so caught up in, I have this great job and I've had these investments, or I've done these things right, or I went to school and made these accomplishments and everything like that. And we get our accomplishments and doing the quote right thing, we take so much pride in it that when these things begin to crumble and fall, we don't even know who we are anymore. And so what beliefs have you established about money? What beliefs have you established, have you governed your life on when it comes to what makes you responsible? Even your reputation, sometimes we get so caught up in, well, I'm this way and I'm this person, this is who I am, and I feel everybody should be like this and da 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 da. And now all of that is like the universe is saying, like, things change all the time. Things change all the time. And just as soon as you hold something as rock solid, it lets you know maybe it's not as rock solid as you thought. So what things have you considered to be rock solid? They are unchangeable, unmovable, that now are being shaken up in your life. I will tell you, like, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. These two together are just not a comfortable place. Not a comfortable place at all. But we all go through these moments in life because we grow from this. We grow from this. You will grow from this if you allow yourself to grow from this, if you allow yourself to learn, if you allow yourself to move beyond the things that you hold as absolute truths. Question the things that you say are absolute truths. I never forget, I knew someone once who always had her family always, made sure she had certain things that she wanted, and so she never knew what it was like to she actually judged people who needed financial assistance. She actually judged people who, maybe went through the welfare system or needed, aid, in some kind of way. And I'm like, well, first of all, the only reason why you're safe and secure is because you have a family that is providing all of these things for you, whereas some people may not have that. So basically, you're not working just like that person's not working. But the only thing that's keeping you looking good is that you have a family that's always going to make sure you look good, right? And so she actually learned that lesson over time. She was like, because in her mind, she actually told me, she said she actually thought that people who didn't pay their bills on time were bad people. That was really her belief system until she found herself in a situation where she couldn't pay her bills, where she had gotten cut off. And that really helped her to grow and to understand that everybody that you see that's struggling, everybody that you see, that's maybe getting assistance in some kind of way, they're not bad people. You know what I mean? Life, we all have different paths in life. And I can't believe I'm still on card group number 1 and I'm at 13 minutes here, or a little over 13 minutes. But this is, when I saw these, it really required this amount of attention. But anyway, we have sometimes, and we all do this, we all set up absolute truths and we say, I would never do that, or I would do that, or people who do this are good or bad, until we find ourselves where everything is falling apart. Could be a marriage falling apart, could, that you thought was so safe and secure. It could be financial resources falling apart, a job that's closing down, your savings being depleted, or maybe you're making good money, but you just don't feel fulfilled. You feel spiritual depletion, and you're looking around like, why is this happening? And it's happening so you can grow. It's happening so that you can grow. It's happening so that you can understand that everything that is destroyed can be rebuilt. It may not look the same. It may not look the same at all, but it can be rebuilt. I was just having a conversation with someone yesterday talking about alchemy and how, alchemy is all about, the transmutation of, a lower, like lead into gold. But if you can create gold, you can create lead. Like, it goes in reverse too. If you can engineer something, if you can build something, you can also destroy it so that you can rebuild it. You can reverse engineer it so you can see how to put the pieces back together. So that is what you were highly, highly encouraged to do right now, is to allow this moment to happen, to feel it, get the lessons you need from it. Use stones like black tourmaline. So when you're feeling like, woe is me, life is over, it's never going to work out, it's so horrible, you can transmute. This is alchemy. You can transmute this energy right here into what you need. And not just believe that, if things are falling apart, that the whole world is falling apart. No, it's happening so that you can learn that the power is within you to rebuild your thoughts, to rebuild your beliefs, to expand yourself, and to grow. So, wow. Okay. So your additional wisdom card here is Go the Distance. So let's see what that says. 1 second. Go the distance. Endurance, strength, the long haul. To bring your dream to life, you must think long term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunities, so there is no need to fear the occasional obstacle. Life is not a sprint. This card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength, and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. Wow, this whole situation right here is just, I can't tell you how powerful it is. In the midst of you feeling like I just don't know what to do. What was me? Everything's falling apart. I don't know where to go from here. I've never experienced this before, so I just don't know. In unfamiliar territory, understand, don't just look at what's falling apart. Keep in mind that you're going the distance. Keep in mind that you're going the distance. Don't stop. Don't stop. Continue to grow, continue to learn, even if it's moment by moment where you have to encourage yourself and uplift yourself. Understand that you are going the distance. It's not about what's happening just in this moment right here and right now. It's about what this moment is teaching you so that you can get to where you're going in the long term. All right? So that is the reading for card group 1, and card group 2 is up next. All right. So we are on card group number 2. And those of you who picked card group number 2, this is a fluorite. This is actually a yoni egg that I've not personally used. I actually like this size because it's so perfect for the palm of my hand. So anywho, that's neither here nor there. But look up fluorite. Fluorite energy is very healing and very... works on both the spiritual and the physical body. So I really like this particular stone. And so let's see what cards you received. Before I really go into it, the card that is on the bottom is like your general energy, or kind of where you are, general wisdom. And then the card that crosses it is the card that can either help or hinder that energy or give additional wisdom to that. And then we'll also get into the actual wisdom card. All right. And so you received the 8 of Wands and the Moon. Wow. All right. Wow. Okay. So for the week of July 14th, Sunday, July 14th through Saturday, July 20th, what you most need to know, do, and be aware of is contained kind of here in this energy between the 8 of Wands and the Moon. So the 8 of Wands is a very fast moving energy. It's high energy. If you look at it, it looks like wands just flying through the air. And the wands themselves, the suit of wands, are very much about your motivation, your drive, your how you take action, your initiation. How you go about taking action, and even passion. And so this week you may feel within yourself this containment of high energy that's trying to come forth, that's trying to move forward. You may see this week a lot of opportunities, a lot of possibilities, and where you want to move your energy. This is all about moving energy, right? There's something about the 8 of Wands, though. Sometimes the 8 of Wands is actually quick movement. Like you might literally find yourself moving faster in your physical body, or you might get an opportunity to move, or an opportunity may come to you that you have to take swift action on. But sometimes this energy is just contained within a person, like this feeling of, I want to do this, I want to take action, I want to say this, I want to do that, I want to take this opportunity, but I don't know if I can, or I'm feeling all of this energy. It's almost like pent up energy. Sometimes the 8 of Wands is expelled energy, but sometimes it's just pent up because you feel like, I gotta take action, I gotta move, I gotta do something. Right? But because I'm seeing this moon here, I'm really feeling like this 8 of Wands for some of you may be more of a pent up kind of energy. Like you're wanting to do something, but the moon energy is very about your subconscious mind, your intuition. Sometimes it connects to even your fears that are governing your movement, right? Have you ever talked to somebody, or maybe this has been you, where you say, I'm just going to use an example, like, I really want to go back to school and get my degree. Like, I really want to do that. I want to take that action. I saw that there's a program opening up. I want to go back to school. I want to do all this great stuff. I want to change my life. Then this comes in and says, but you haven't been in school in a long time. How do you know if you can do it? It's been a long time. How do you look at this age going back to school? Or how do you look, going after this thing? So a lot of times for many of us in life, we have these subconscious thoughts and feelings and fears that are governing how we take action. So this week, July 14th through the 20th, you are really encouraged to look at what hidden things, because the moon is all about the hidden, the subconscious, what is not seen. It's not like the sun that's being seen all the time. It comes out at night, right? So what hidden things are going on in your subconscious mind? What regular thoughts govern how you take action, how you go about movement and moving on opportune moments? This moon card is not a good or a bad card, right? Because sometimes we have wonderful things happening in our subconscious mind that are moving us to action. Sometimes we have things in our subconscious mind that are prompting us to take the wrong action. So basically, like, for example, we see some people who are hotheads, right? Who just they just fight at the drop of a dime. They don't ask any questions. They got this anger, and anger sometimes is good, taking action on things that are unjust or things that are out of order, is good. But if it's rooted in a fear, or if it's your if on your subconscious mind you are moving on actions you don't even understand. So after you have these angry moments and somebody says, well, why did you do what you did? Why did you act that way? And you can't even remember why. You don't even know why. That's a program. That's the word I'm looking for. That's a program that's running on your subconscious mind. This week, July 14th through the 20th, you are very highly encouraged to look at what programs are running on your subconscious mind that either help, hurt, or hinder the actions that you take. This week, some of you may find yourself having access to opportunities that require action. Doors may open up for you, where you feel like, I got to move on this. This is great. I want to move on this. And if you feel yourself being stagnant, ask yourself why, or you may feel a whole lot of pent up energy. Like, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to, all of this energy. And really, maybe it's not fears on your subconscious mind that's blocking you, but it's your intuition. Because again, the moon, it deals with everything subconscious, intuition. And then on its darker, less beneficial side, it deals with fear. So, but sometimes it's our intuition that's saying, okay, keep building these thoughts that are happening here. This maybe not be the time to act. You want to act, but this is the time to really, before you make that movement, how are you going to go about it? I can't tell you this, again, this is a general reading, so I can't say, for everybody who picked card group 2 that, you're either running on fear or intuition. That's up to you to go within to understand what is governing your choices. What is governing your behavior? What keeps you in action or what makes you inactive? What makes you go after opportunities or keeps you afraid? What makes you quick to anger or slow to anger? You know what I mean? You have to ask yourself, what fears or what do I intuitively know that moves how I act and how I behave? Because this week, we are still in a Mercury retrograde. We actually just really got into it pretty good. So there may be a lot of opportunities to move, to travel, to do this, to do that. And then at the same time, roadblocks. It's like you want to travel, but then there's a lot of flight delays. Or you want to take this new opportunity, or you thought this new opportunity was going to happen today, and then it doesn't. Or, it's just a lot of pent up energy is happening this month of July in general. And you really might be feeling that. So with Mercury retrograde, we are all asked to go into how we think. Why do we think the way that we think? Why do we, say the words we say, think the way that we think? So ask yourself this week, why do I take the actions that I take? If you get presented with an opportunity and you're afraid to take it, ask yourself why. And is this a pattern in your life where you're constantly moving in fear? What is governing your subconscious mind? So I'm not telling you to or not to take action. Some of you will, some of you won't. But I will say this, the action that probably 99% of all of you who pick card group 2 need to take this week is actively looking at what rules your subconscious mind. Because what rules your subconscious mind is really what rules you. If you're constantly missing opportunities, if you're constantly given opportunities that you don't take advantage of, why? So basically this week you are challenged, you are encouraged to look at what is ruling. That's the action you really should be taking. What is ruling your subconscious mind? Now, if opportunities open up and you want to take it and it's perfect for you, by all means take it. But really, the action that you should be taking this week is what governs you. What thoughts and patterns of behavior govern your life? Because we have this eclipse happening in the sign of Capricorn. And eclipses are like reset buttons. They and especially because it's a lunar eclipse, of the moon. So it is really a time to reset. Capricorn, the sign of Capricorn is all about stability, long-term, looking at the long term, no pain, no gain, being responsible, building a strong, solid reputation, and building your own security. And so with an eclipse, a lunar eclipse happening in the sign of Capricorn this week, we are all being challenged to reset what we believe as it relates to money and security and our reputation and our long-term goals. So you may have been someone who is constantly stagnant in your life and you can't take action. And this moon with this lunar eclipse is saying, hey, this is the time to rethink why you stagnate yourself. Why maybe you even sabotage yourself sometimes. Or why even sometimes you take action on the wrong things. You take action just on impulse, but it might not be good for your long term. All right? So some of you, yes, maybe have opportunities presented to you this week that you can take strong and swift action on. And, good for you. If it feels right, then do it. But the real action that you should be taking this week is asking yourself, what habits, what subconscious beliefs, what fears have been governing my life up until this point, and how do I want to swiftly change that? How do I want to swiftly perhaps move in a different direction? Because with this lunar eclipse, you're getting the reset that you need to then go in a new direction if you choose. Because the Eight of Wands is always also about changing direction swiftly and quickly with power. All right? So that is what the cards that you have received. Now let's look at some additional wisdom. Let's see. You received, milk and honey. So let's see what that says. 1 second. Milk and honey. I'm going to get to it eventually. All right, milk and honey. The taste of prosperity. Opportunities born of authenticity. Nurturing abundance. Trusting that your needs will be met. You've entered a sweet time in your life, enjoying the land of milk and honey that everyone wants to experience. It's an interlude that feels more languid than ambitious, when all of your senses are awake to the unlimited possibilities in the universe. These times are precious and only come when you're in your authentic zone, wearing the world as a loose garment, and not wanting, yet able to be nourished in ways both tangible and subtle. Abundance is an energy that you are a living part of. All your needs are being met. You are given the gift of nourishment in every form. And I will read also the protection message. It says, a nameless unease compels you to turn to pleasure and comfort as a means to escape what's really going on. It works in the moment, but only fleetingly, before the feelings return and you need to re-up until you're exhausted, feeling worse than before. You may continue struggling, or you may see the light and choose to surrender to spirit. Now is the time for practicing extreme self-care. If you can, do so before you engage in behaviors you will regret later. You are so loved, so cared for. Feel love and compassion for yourself. Turn your troubles over to the divine healing, to the divine for healing. That's all that counts right now. So milk and honey is all about, okay, of course we got that land of milk and honey and sweetness and, abundance and prosperity. But, and then the protection message of that is that, sometimes we use the land of milk and honey. We use our creature comforts that we have right now to keep us in the safe and secure zone. So which one are you? Are you the one who, is preparing for your land of milk and honey? And working with spirit to allow that into your life? Are you someone who has been kind of stagnating yourself, afraid to take action, afraid to move, using the fears of the subconscious mind to keep you from experiencing the land of milk and honey? Now is the time for extreme self-care. Like this message said, extreme self-care is very, very vital, very, very important to you who selected this card group, because that's the only way you're going to know what is ruling you. Sometimes we get stuck in patterns of behavior and belief, and we don't even know why life keeps looking the way it does. It's because it's some sort of programming on the subconscious mind. And you have to ask yourself, does it keep you from taking action? Does it keep you from moving where you need to go? Is it time for a swift change? The only way to know that is to check in here, to check in on your subconscious mind and ask yourself, am I being ruled by my fears, or am I being moved and ruled by spirit and my intuition? That is your challenge for this week of July 14th through the 20th. So thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure that you go to the description box below if you want to book a personal reading or purchase my book, The Magic of Self-Love. All of that information is down below. Thank you so much for tuning in for this week's reading. All right, so those of you who selected card group number 3, here is your reading for the week of July 14th through July 20th. And so we have here a citrine. Citrine is like a very popular stone. A lot of people have citrine. Is very much a stone of joy, vibrant joy, happiness, contentment, as well as abundance, financial abundance, wealth and prosperity. So if you don't have a citrine, I highly suggest that you get one. All right, so for your cards this week, the card on the bottom is like your general energy, kind of what you're feeling right now or what you're coming into this week with. The card that is crossing it is the card that can either assist that energy or hinder that energy. It just gives additional wisdom. And then we also have your additional wisdom card. All right, so the cards that you received this week are the Two of Pentacles and Judgment. The Two of Pentacles and Judgment. And again, remember this week we are looking at what you most need to know, do, or be aware of in order to walk in your highest power this week. And so this week is very, very interesting. We have really gotten in strong now with Mercury retrograde, which deals with our communication, our intellect, how we think and speak, and even travel. Sometimes we may experience delays in that. And a lot of times people get frustrated and irritated with Mercury retrograde, but Mercury retrograde is a blessing because it helps us to take our time. It reminds us to take our time. It allows us, it reminds us to take time to really rethink before we take action. And really, know what we want to do and understand that our words are powerful, our actions are powerful, and they have consequences and rewards. All right. So the Two of Pentacles this week, the Two of Pentacles is very much about juggling. It's about balance. I'll say that more so than juggling. Even though he looks like he's juggling those two pentacles, really it's about balancing. This week, you are highly encouraged to look at how you are balancing all aspects of your life. How are you balancing your money with your bills? How are you balancing your commitment to work with your commitment to your family? How are you balancing your commitment to your family and friends with your commitment and self-care for yourself? All right. So and with this being, we have this infinity. It looks like a number 8, but it's also the symbol for infinity. that it reminds us that this is the juggle of life. We are always seeking to find this divine balance. Sometimes we tap into it and everything is just going so great, like it's an equal balance. Like, let's imagine if he had one hand here and one hand straight across, as opposed to one down and one up. Where we're giving equal love to our careers that we're giving to our home life, and we're giving equal love to our family and friends that we give to ourselves, and we're so balanced and so aligned. But the reality of life is that we are not always balanced and aligned. We are not always, in this perfect state of juggling everything that is on our plates. If you look even behind him, the waves are going up and down. It's a ship on the wave that's like, can you imagine being on that ship? I don't know if you can see it. I mean, imagine that. You're like, oh my God, please. No. But that's how life feels sometimes. It feels like a juggle. And so I ask you, this week, do you choose to feel like life is a juggle? Or do you choose to feel like, wow, I'm bringing my life into balance? I'm bringing my life into balance and harmony, knowing that there are always aspects of my life that I must juggle, but it's not so much about juggling, because the feeling of juggling is always like, you got one ball in the air and you're trying to catch it before it falls, but you're trying to throw this up. I'm trying to get this started and then catch this and, keep my home life going while I'm starting my business, or, trying to keep my career going while I'm starting a family. I'm going back to school. I'm going to college for the first time while trying to maintain my studies and have a social life. So the idea of juggling, sometimes with that comes overwhelm, comes stress, comes I just can't handle it, and so the Two of Pentacles is like, you can handle it, but it's all about putting things in proper balance, putting things in proper perspective. If you're thinking about, I've got so much on my plate to juggle, then it will feel like a juggle. It will feel like overwhelm and stressful. But if you feel like I have the power to bring balance and alignment into my life, then it will feel more like a beautiful, harmonious dance as opposed to a stressful and overwhelming juggle. So with it being Mercury retrograde, this is really the time to think about the things that you think, the things that you say, how you spend your money, how you travel. For example, if you're someone who's always running late to work, and so your drive to work looks like this ship on this boat, you're trying to catch all the green lights, you're honking your horn, you're yelling and screaming. This week is like, hey, maybe if you just leave 5 minutes earlier, like make a commitment to leaving 5 minutes earlier, and see how then you can move from the energy of juggling to the energy of balancing. So that's really, really, really key. Also, if you are, if you're saying that you want one thing, but your action is showing a different thing, how can you bring your words and your actions into balance and harmonious alignment? Again, with this being the week of Mercury, not the week, Mercury retrograde goes retrograde for a few weeks, but you're really asked to look at, what things constantly trip you up, and how can you be more harmonious about that? How can you bring these things into better alignment? This is a good week for you to sit down and look at your bills. Look at where your money is going. Like if you've just been spending, and you can't even remember what you bought, or you have receipts all over the house. That's actually something I need to do right now, is like I have a stack of receipts, because I'm always feeling like I might need to. I hate returning stuff and not having a receipt, because they always look at you like, did you really buy it from here? And well, we can give you a store credit, and I hate that because I want my money back. You know what I mean? So, but then sometimes that gets out of control, because then I have a bunch of receipts everywhere, and it's like, okay, really, just throw these away. Clearly, you've had this item for a month and a half. You're going to keep it, so, whatever. But that's just me. Anyway, get your receipts in order. Balance your checkbook, balance your statements. Look at what's due. Pull your credit report. Don't be afraid of looking at your credit report and just looking at what's there, and how you can maybe improve your credit, or how you can increase certain payments that put you in a better position. Look at where you're trying to go, because sometimes we get so caught up in the juggle that life just becomes a juggle, and we lose sight of the long-term goals. We lose sight of where we're trying to go. So, a year goes by, 2 years goes by, 3 years goes by, and we're no closer to our dreams, but we're so busy. What's the saying? You can't be busy and broke. If you're busy and broke, you're doing things the wrong way, and it's it's this idea, this concept that how are you so busy handling this, putting this fire out, putting that fire out, going here, going there, managing this, managing that. You're so busy and you still can't make ends meet. How are you busy and broke? So look at your life this week and say, hey, how am I being busy and broke? Now this, obviously with it being Pentacles, yes, it could be how am I busy and broke financially, but how am I busy and broke spiritually? How am I busy and broke emotionally? How am I busy and broke mentally? You got all this mental energy you're juggling in your mind. You got your mental checklist, where you got to go, what time you got to pick up the kids, what time class starts, whatever. And so you have all of this mental stuff that you're juggling in your mind, but is not, you just get stuck in the analysis part of it. It's not really benefiting you. It's actually keeping you in that stuck place for a long period of time. Mercury retrograde will slow you down so you can look at how your juggling is just juggling. It's not balancing. So how are you juggling as opposed to balancing? And so the Judgment card is one of those cards. I love this card because a lot of times we have latent powers. We have hidden powers. We have hidden capabilities. We have so much talent that we're not using. So much possibilities that we're not even tapping into because we're so stuck in the juggling. We're so hands-on. Have you ever seen someone who is doing something the hard way and you're looking at them like, why are you choosing to do it this way? Like, for real, why are you choosing the most difficult way to get something done that could be so easy if you just do X, Y, and Z, right? Like, why are you, like, for example, a lot of us have smartphones. And then when you go to, your phone company or the Apple store or, wherever it is that you go, and they're showing you different features on your phone, you're like, oh my God, I didn't know my phone could do that. Like, I was really doing it the hard way. All this time I had this, if I just press this button, I could copy and paste this entire paragraph instead of trying to retype it, for example, whatever, So we all have these talents, these things that, in our lives that we do the hard way, these hidden talents. And the Judgment card is about what's hidden. These people have been lying in their coffins. They could have been dead, whatever. But they're lying in their coffins, and then the angel, blows his trumpet, and they come back to life. They come from death to life. So this week you are challenged to look at ways in which you have been dead, ways that you have been trying to juggle everything the hard way and bring life to those hidden talents. Now, hidden talent could be something as simple as, just taking an hour to, again, check your receipts, balance your checkbook, balance your accounts, that you haven't been doing because you're just, I'm so busy, I don't have the time. Like, no, like, for real, you can add, multiply, subtract, and divide. That's a simple hidden talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, use your gifts, your talents, your skills to bring you life. All right. It could be that, you're thinking that, I'm starting this business so hard. I got to juggle this, entrepreneurship is so difficult because I got to take care of this. I got to take care of this. And I'm only one person. How can I do this? And the Judgment card is saying, well, just ask for help. Like, hire an accountant, or, maybe you can't hire an accountant every month, but maybe you can, work with one every 6 months, or maybe you can hire your niece to bag your goods and make sure that they get to the post office. Like, how are you doing things the hard way? What hidden talents and gifts, what resources do you have available to you that you are not using because you've gotten trapped in this belief that every life has to be a juggle? Life has to be a struggle. I gotta hustle hard. It's gotta be this overwhelming grind. Yes, and we get so caught up in the work. We find all of this this value in working hard, right? We come from a society and a world that if you're you're up before the sun rises, you grind until the sun sets, that there's some sort of value to that. And I'm not saying don't work hard. What I'm saying is you probably have hidden talents, hidden skills, resources, people, there's probably free classes at your local community college, whatever, that can help you learn how to do what you need to do in a very simple way that can bring your life into balance and into order. This week we are experiencing a lunar eclipse in the sign of Capricorn, and Capricorn is the sign of hard work, of diligence, of no pain, no gain, of creating structures that bring stability and balance into our lives. And that Capricorn energy is so useful and helpful to us being responsible and making sure that we are doing the things that we need to do. However, on the flip side, it can be destructive because we get so caught up in the structures that we built and creating this, having this, working so hard for the long term that we lose sight of how it might be killing us in the present. So having a lunar eclipse in the sign of Capricorn this week, any eclipses are like resets. So we are being asked to reset how we think about our long-term goals, reset how we feel about our long-term dreams, reset how we go about creating structures, and reset how we go about being responsible. Because the way that we've been doing it, some of you may have been doing it, may not even be the smartest and easiest way. It's got you stuck in the juggling mode instead of in the balancing mode. All right. And so we're finding so much value in how hard we work, when sometimes how hard you work could be killing you, So, there might be a smarter way to do it. Look at your hidden talents. Look at your hidden gifts. Look at your hidden, the things, the resources, the people, that you have available to you that you haven't been using, so that you can move from juggling into balancing. All right. So a lot of you got hidden talents and hidden resources you're not even tapping into. Like, come on, get with it this week. Get with it. Tap into the hidden, the latent powers, so that you can move from juggling and into balancing. All right. And so we have for your wisdom card, we have breathe. So let's see what that says. Breathe. While I'm looking for that, take a moment to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. See how good that feels? So breathe says patience, waiting, going slowly, wellness, meditation, trust. Patience in all things is called for right now. What do you need to do when you're in a rush? Slow down, of course. Meditate and trust. Breathe and repeat. Humans cannot exist without drawing breath. Now is the time to allow the life-giving element of air to replenish your body, your being, and your very essence. Stop to smell the roses. Breathe in the sunlight and release the darkness, and miracles will appear. All right? So, this juggling mode is what keeps a lot of us from breathing. Sometimes just a simple breath, just taking 5 minutes to just breathe, helps you to get out of juggling mode and into balancing mode. Because the purpose of having all of these wonderful, fantastic things in life, from, going to college for the first time, or maybe going back to school, to starting a business, to moving up in your career at the company that you work for, to having family and friends that, want to spend time with you, to you wanting to spend time with yourself. All of these are blessings. All of these are blessings of life. But when we start to see them as something we've got to juggle, then our blessings become just another thing in our life that's draining us of our energy. So you've got to find a way to breathe and just ask yourself, what resources do I have? What talents do I have that I'm not using? What resources do I have that I'm not tapping into? What people do I know that I'm not asking for help? So let me reach out to them Let me, figure out how to use all the apps on my phone, whatever your resources are. Breathe and know that your miracles come not from the juggling and grinding and working hard, but they come from you understanding how to work better. So that because the whole purpose of all this stuff that we're juggling is because we want to enjoy our lives. We want to enjoy these things. That's why we start these things. That's why we have kids. That's why we go to school. That's why you start these businesses. That's why you do whatever it is that you do, because a part of you wants to enjoy life. So learn this week, July 14th through the 20th, learn how to move from juggling into balancing so that you can enjoy your life and just breathe. So I want to thank you for allowing me to, come into your life for this reading. Make sure that you go to the link in my description box and click there to book a personal reading. Also, you can buy my book, The Magic of Self-Love, on Amazon. And if this reading has been beneficial to you in any kind of way, and you're not ready for a personal reading, then consider just giving a donation. When you click the link in my description box, you also have access to being able to give a donation there as well. So thank you so much for this time, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. All right, so thank you so much for tuning in to the readings for July 14th, Sunday, July 14th through Saturday, July 20th. Make sure that you click the link in my description box below to book a personal reading. You can also purchase my book, The Magic of Self-Love. From that link, it will actually take you to Amazon to get my book, The Magic of Self-Love. And also in that link are links to my PayPal and Cash App. If you feel so inclined, if this reading has been a blessing to you, and you want to leave a donation, you can do that as well in support of this work. And so remember that those of you who commented your card selections either on the quick post that I had on Instagram and Facebook, or beneath this video, if you did so by July 15th, Monday, by the end of the day, July 15th, then you will automatically be put into a hat for the running for my giveaway that will take place at the end of the month of July. So I look forward to whoever the winner may be, and thank you everyone for watching and for your support. Talk to you again soon. Peace and love.